Please select a difficulty level. Well, we're not gonna take easy or nightmare no matter what, so it's normal or hard. Normal. Recommended setting for players familiar with role-playing games, providing a good balance of challenge and survivability. It requires moderate use of tactical pausing to plan actions during combat. Although party members can harm each other with careless use of certain abilities, damage due to friendly fire is only half of what it would be against enemies. I like it like this otherwise, but I don't like the fact that friendly fire is doing half damage. Hard. This setting provides a considerably greater challenge than normal difficulty. To prevail against a more aggressive enemy AI, you will need to make sophisticated use of tactical pausing as well as clever combinations of spells and talents. Friendly fire damage is no longer scaled down and your party will not heal as easily. Enemies will inflict more damage, be encumbered by status effects for shorter durations, and demonstrate greater resistance to various damage types. Okay, I don't like this. I like the more aggressive AI, and you will require more sophisticated use of everything, but I don't, and there's friendly fire. Here where the difficulty level loses me. Enemies will inflict more damage. But the worst things is be encumbered by status effects for shorter durations. So basically, they don't follow the normal rules anymore, which sucks. Why couldn't they just have the more aggressive AIs remove the friendly fire? Basically, make it like it should have been. On a level playing field where both sides are affected by the same rules. Also, I don't like the greater resistance to various damage types. So basically it means we'll have to beat on every goddamn enemy for a longer time. More health for them, less damage. We're doing less damage, they have more health basically. Our abilities are less effective than they should be, so remove those things and this would be my preferred choice, but I'd like my abilities to function, I like my damage to do properly. So some common customizations between those two would be nice. Everything else but the extra life, less damage, greater resistances, I don't like those. So normal it is. It's more less play friendly anyway.
Deep beneath the Frostback Mountains sits Orzammar, the larger of two known remaining dwarven cities in the world. Orzammar was once the seat of a major empire connected by tunnels called deep roads, which stretched thousands of miles. The city now stands alone, cut off from the rest of the dwarven ancestral lands by the Darkspawn incursion. Secure in Orzammar's impregnable construction, the dwarven noble houses continue their centuries-old power struggles. Assassination and blackmail are commonplace, but the appearance of honor is paramount. You are the second child of King Endrin of House Aidukan, the 9th Aidukan ruler elected by the Noble Assembly. You grew up in a world rife with political intrigue, and have struggled against brothers and cousins for honor and prestige. Today, a feast celebrates your first military commission, the opening move towards real power in the ever-changing game of dwarven politics.
Greetings, my lord. You are dressed and ready. Excellent. I couldn't find the armor's matching dagger, but I scrounged up a rather fancy longsword. Do you wish to wear your shield to the noble's feast?
Choices. You have to be careful with choices in this game. They might seem unimportant differences between them, but you have to keep in mind that the game doesn't know anything about you, and sometimes it gives you choices not to react to how the game is predetermined, but to give you the choice how you want things to be. So if you don't, here you have to take an active approach where you want to direct the game to. So that doesn't mean every choice is like that, but I think very soon there is, for example, our first one. For now, do you wish to wear your shield to the noble feast? Options: I wouldn't even wear the armor if not for tradition. This is very unlike us. Leave it. I don't want to look fearful. I don't give a crap about what other people think about me. Better safe than sorry. Shield me. I'm not cautious. Yes, let them see me as a warrior. This is exactly what we want to say.
Of course, if every other noble has a shield and 3 swords, you'll feel awfully underdressed.
You forget your place. I'm not to be mocked.
I'm sorry, my lord. The festivities put me in an odd mood.
Don't worry about it. Just try to behave yourself.
Of course. Moving on to the business at hand. The king expects you to make an appearance at the feast, but there's no rush. The noble family heads will spend hours boring your father with petitions and petty grievances.
I'm not too interested in the ruling, so what shall we do in the meantime?
As part of the celebrations, permits have been auctioned off to members of the merchant caste who wish to sell wares in the Diamond Quarter. Lord Harrowmont has also opened up the provings for young warriors to test their mettle before tomorrow's battle. Perhaps we should go show them what single combat is really all about. And by we, I mean you. I'll practice my cheering.
Okay. Fighting each other before battle is wasteful. Why don't you want to fight in the proving, Scorin?
You remember last year's open proving? It took your father's smith 6 hours to remove my helmet. I'm not meant for single combat. I fight as my lord's second in shield. That's enough for me.
Okay, we have option. Let's go see the merchants, or let's go fight in the proving ground. So this is not a choice. Proving sounds appealing. Let's go have a look.
Right behind you, my lord. The day is ours until the feast.
The feast. The game has a lot of codex entries. I mean a lot. A lot. A lot of entries. So it'll get updated from time to time, new entries being shown. I'm going to go through them. I don't intend to read all of them. They're not really relevant, and I don't want to get too bogged down. What I'll do is I'll try to skim and see if there's anything important that might be relevant to the actual game experience and the events we are encountering. Yeah, we can't use these abilities because we don't have a dual weapon equipped. What weapons do we have? We have 2 armors. They're DLC armors. I'm not sure I'm going to use them. They're very powerful items for this stage of the game. We could easily gain access to the battle rest of the Provocateur. Only 20 strength requirements. Dexterity, armor, 15% chance to dodge attacks, 0.5 stamina regeneration in combat, plus 50 stamina. we might use them. I'm more inclined, I'll probably sell them. Yeah, I didn't. You need quite a high strength too to wear proper armor. I didn't consider that at the start. So what we're going to do is basically raise strength and dexterity both. They'll probably need to be something alongside 35 to 40 both. So quite high. We're going to be dexterity. We're going to be raising dexterity and strength for a long time and doing nothing else. Longsword, iron. I'd like more weapons. Okay, let's talk to Gorim, see what he's like. There's a lot of dialogue in this game, so if you delay things for too long, they'll pile up. And they'll pile up a lot. Codex entries. Orzammar politics, dwarven fate. Nobles, feast.
I'll get on it.
Yeah. More entries. Weapons. Yeah. We'll use mace shield combo, and we have a swap weapon set where we'll use a longsword and a dagger. Something else. Crystal contains an image of the city of Orzammar. 5 copper pieces.
My lord.
Tell me about your family, Gorim.
Not much that you don't already know. My father's father was a great hero of the Deep Roads excursions and raised the family to the top of the warrior caste. He was even nominated to join the assembly and found a noble house, but the honor was in the nomination. He wasn't afforded a single vote. My father served your father for many years, and now I serve you.
Are you excited about the battle tomorrow?
Yes, I yearn to face the Darkspawn and prove my worth as your second.
Remember, it is my glory we go to win.
Of course, I am here to serve.
We should get going.
As you will.
I don't think I care too much about the caste thing. Dwarven society is it's a caste-based system. Dwarven faith. Okay. We do not accept the empty promises of heaven as the wild elves do, or vie for the favor of absent gods. Instead, we follow in the footsteps of our paragons, the greatest of our ancestors, warriors, craftsmen, leaders, the greatest examples of lives spent in service to our fellow dwarves. Our paragons joins with the stone in life, and now stand watch at our gate, ushering in those surfacers privileged to visit our city. We know there is no greater honor to hope for, no better reward for an exceptional life. Basically, they don't worship gods or any kind of other power. They worship the members of their own society that have achieved something exceptional, and they call them paragons. Orzammar politics, city of Orzammar. It's a description of the structure of the city. Topmost tier of Orzammar is home to the noble caste. Lower tier is the commons, where the merchant caste holds sway and where the finest works of Orzammar's craftsmen are for sale. In the center of the river of lava, connected to the commons by a causeway, are the proving grounds, a sacred arena where the dwarves by ancient tradition settle their disputes. Then ruins of old dwarven palaces fall into despair, which the locals call Dusttown, now home to the city's castless. And then the Deep Roads, which once joined the sprawling dwarven empire together, but now, after centuries of darkspawn incursions, are largely sealed off. Nearly all knowledge of this network of underground passages has been lost, even to its builders. Orzammar politics. I guess it's important enough to how the dwarven society really works. Everyone in the city is allied with someone, whether by blood or by word. The nobles do not engage directly in commerce themselves, as that is the domain of the merchant caste, but they do serve as patrons. They invest in shops or in artisans' works and in turn reap a share of the profits as well as a measure of the credit. Merchants and warriors alike benefit from the service of a prestigious patron. Now, relative power of each house is ever changing. Yeah, they're basically fighting over prestige. They earn rank and prestige when combatants loyal to them or from their own bloodlines win provings. They earn it when artisans they patronize become sought after or well regarded, or when the merchants they invest in become successful. Yeah. Oh, the rank of the patron is the rank of the client. So basically, it's a very top-down led society where all the value seems to come from the noble caste. So if your patron is high ranked, you also gain rank. It serves very well for a power struggle and gives all the lower castes a reason to support their patron, because if their patron does well, their position also improves at the same time. Nowhere is this more apparent than in the assembly, where the Deshers, representatives of each noble house, meet. Although the king technically rules Orzammar, kings are elected by the assembly, so each king must work constantly to maintain the support of the Deshers. Kings who prove unpopular find their heirs deemed unacceptable to inherit the throne. Power then passes to another house. So this is exactly the kind of society where power struggles are very commonplace, because you constantly have to keep. There's nothing guaranteed. You have to have the support of the strongest alliances, or you'll risk losing your own position, even if you're basically the ruling house at the moment. Shian's room, our brothers.
Oh, Balin? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Your Highness.
This is one of my other brother's room. Letter from Rika. My dearest Prince Balin, you are too kind to me. I am a small and insignificant thing, and I do not deserve your attention, but your willingness to tolerate my presence shows you are to be a prince among men. I cannot thank you enough for the beautiful necklace you presented to me. I will cherish it always, and I promise I will wear it at our next meeting. I know my gratitude means nothing to you, but I must say again, thank you. I will always be your humble and devoted servant. Yours truly, R. Mm-hmm. House Educan, Shield of Orzammar. This is our house. Assembly has never named a paragon with so little disagreement as there was to Paragon Educan. No naysayers, only a single abstention. His worthiness was unquestionable, his favor with the ancestors clear. It's a seems to be a story about the first paragon of the house. A member of the warrior caste, I guess. I mean a great warrior. Not sure if he was a cast member. And the assembly was so utterly tied up with the infighting that the dog spawn spread unchecked to the gates of Orzammar herself. In the chaos, Educan grudgingly took command of the armies. He enlisted the aid of the mining caste to collapse overrun passages, called upon the smith caste to supply them with arms, and bypassed the assembly and the nobles entirely. With his leadership, Orzammar was saved from annihilation. For his insubordination, he was made paragon. Yet he always considered it a defeat. Orzammar's history, that's not too important. It's something you can read if you want to get into the history, but it's not too important to what's happening here now.
All right, all right.
Seems to be my brother's mistress. Foreign merchant's belt, increased monetary gain. Well, hello there.
I'm sorry. I thought you were Prince Balin coming down the hall. Forgive me.
Yeah, she's clearly not of the noble caste. That's funny. You can talk to your aide, so basically refuse to talk to a member of a lower caste at all. I don't think I'm that kind of a person, really. I don't think the castes are equal, but I also I value martial prowess over other things, so I don't exactly follow the caste system either. I have my own system of valuing things. So who are you? No. What are you doing in my brother's quarters?
It seems she's one of your brother Balin's newest, companions. Prince Balin is attending the feast being held in Lord Idukan's honor.
Yes, of course. It was presumptuous of me to think that he would return to... I am sorry. I will show myself out, with your leave, my lord.
Yeah, go or stay, I don't care.
Thank you. I will go now.
I really don't care. I don't care, and my character doesn't care. So my brother has a mistress. Holy shit, that's meaningless. Probably every noble has mistresses.
Good day, Lord Idukan.
Father's rule.
No sign of trouble here.
We don't want to go to the throne room. There's the feast in my honor. That's not where we want to go.
You sure you want to go to the feast now? I doubt we can escape to see the provings once we're inside.
Right, let's go see the provings first.
I can't wait to see who's fighting today.
It doesn't seem like there's a...
I went to watch the provings.
Most exciting.
A lot we can do here. Let's go to provings. Diamond Quarter. Life in Orzammar. Although Orzammar derives its vast wealth from trade with human kingdoms, all dwarves who come to the surface to trade are stripped of their position in society. Dwarven merchants are so ubiquitous in human cities that many people labor under the impression that all dwarves are merchants, or that their whole race worships coin and trade. But these surface dwarves are atypical creatures, the ones willing to give up all ties to their kin and sacrifice their rank in order to conduct business. Below ground, the dwarves are people obsessed with honor, their own and that of their family. Most nobles incorporate chainmail even into formal gowns because slights and insults often turn deadly. Dwarves are a people who revere excellence and strive to achieve it in all things. Even members of the servant caste have been elevated to paragons, usually posthumously, in recognition of remarkable service. So I guess I'm trying to strive for excellence in martial combat.
Your father has allowed the merchants to show their wares in the Diamond Quarter during these celebrations.
I'm sure we can work this out reasonably. It's in the records. There's nothing I can do. Please, Master Volney. My work is accredited by the Shaper.
These books are lies written by the enemies of House Volney.
I write only what I find in the ancient records. Lord Iduken, you can vouch for my work, can't you? Your father loved my History of Iduken, Paragon King, Peacemaker.
I greatly enjoyed that book as well. I don't think so. Gorim, does this scholar truly have my father's favor?
The king, as well as several other lords, are quite fond of his work. He writes of the ancient paragons.
This worm has written a book that slanders my house.
What does it say?
It doesn't matter, it's all lies.
What exactly has he written, Brandon?
He says that Volney, the paragon who founded my house, known throughout the world as the greatest of men, was a fraud.
Not precisely. When the Assembly names a paragon, that man or woman is then, by definition, everything one can aspire to be in the world. They form their own noble houses and are revered as living ancestors. But paragons start off as men.
Volney was more than a man.
Get to the point. Why is Branding so angry?
Volney became a paragon by the narrowest margin in history. One vote. A vote mired in rumors of intimidation, intrigue, and outright bribery. The records of that vote are kept in the Shaperate and are a matter of fact. Not liking history doesn't make it any less true.
Yeah, the scholar is right. I understand the value of protecting reputation and maybe not the exact truth of history does not need to be the one that's being taught to the general public, but this is just a scholar writing his work as far as I can understand it. So if he can't really write according to the known facts, it makes the entire history sort of worthless. It becomes someone might argue that that's already the case, but I don't think so. Usually the facts are fairly well known. Just because there's some interpretation of what it means does not alter that there's a serious disputes about what the facts are. I think the scholar is right. It's not like he's even claiming that he shouldn't be a paragon or something. It was a tight vote, and there was intrigue there. I'm part of the noble caste, surely, and it's clearly intended as a power struggle. It would be really, really weird if a vote for Paragon was not something that involved all those things. So I don't see anything bad really in what the scholar is even claiming. So the scholar is right. That's beside the point, though. It's a matter of principle. It doesn't really matter, I guess, even if you do great things and things like that, if you have a history that can be altered by simple bribery, it diminishes the value of the entire thing to uselessness. So I'm siding with the scholar.
You're taking his side? What if he published a book like this about your Paragon Idukan?
Shut up now, Bronson.
Do not order me about like some low-caste peon. This is not finished.
That fool has no idea how weak his house is or how low he sits in it. Shall I have him killed, my lord?
What do you think, scholar?
Well, historically, it has been prudent to eliminate a small threat before it becomes larger.
Yeah, but that goes... I'm not... I don't disagree with that kind of thinking, but it also goes against the warrior nature and striving toward excellence. There's no glory in me for killing small fish, so to speak. There need to be a challenge. I'd rather let it grow to something that is serious and then defeat it after that, when it's a challenge. So I'm not that prudent. Let the poor fool live. I want him to come back and try to get back at me, and then I'll defeat him.
As you say.
You've shown House Idukan a friend to research, history, and the glory of our people.
Yeah, carry on with your work, scholar.
Of course. I have much to document and organize. Good day, Your Highness. And thank you.
I sort of think that if the scholar would have sort of given up at that point, he would have not strived for excellence in his own field. He would have given up because someone might have been displeased with what that would have meant. So I would have lost all my respect toward him. I do understand that not everyone wants to be have the will to strive or capability to strive for to become a paragon, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to give it a shot.
The finest in home decorations!
Did you see those noble hunters? Shameful.
Looks like the noble hunters are out in force, my lord.
That's not what I meant, my lord.
Ah, my
My
friend.
lord!
Enjoying the festivities so
The Darkspawn will surely run in fear from you, my lord.
Nothing beats a good set of steel cutlery.
My lord Idukan, you honor me by visiting my humble booth. May I show you my wares?
You have something I might want.
Not for a mighty warrior such as yourself, my lord, but perhaps a lady friend. I forget myself. I'll be silent.
This looks to be mostly fabrics from the human lands. These merchants form alliances with those who have abandoned our ways to live on the surface.
It's nice to have such pretty things. Good for the ladies.
As you say.
The Paragon? Why search? My lord has returned. Is there something here that interests you?
Yep. I'd like to see the wares.
Please, look as you will.
Uh, yeah, way too expensive. Way too expensive everything. Although if we sell some of our craft, it's not. Hmm, I don't know. We could get access to the light armor fairly soon, and it's a good armor. I'm not keen on the Blood Dragon Blade, so it's a good armor, but yeah, I'm selling it. Build rest of the Provocateur. The reason I don't really want to use this, sort of, is that it's a tier 7 item when at this point we're normally getting tier 1 or a rare tier 2, and it has a huge amount of bonuses. Basically it's a early game overpowered item that you got if you paid money to the company to give it to you. So I feel it's sort of a like paying them money to allow you to cheat in the game. In a single player game like this, I don't consider it to be a truly bad thing. It's just but it's not something I want to do, so I'm selling it too. It gave us about 8 gold total, so it is a cheat also in that sense. But 8 gold, although it seems like a lot of money at this point, it is not. It is not.
You don't think she's still out there?
Impossible.
Atros follow, big brother. How surprising to run into you out among the common folk.
Especially since duty requires that you attend our King Father at the feast today. Have you so little respect for him to disregard his wishes on a day set aside for you?
Lord Harrowmont told me we wouldn't be needed for hours at least.
Silence! If I want the opinion of my siblings second, I will ask for it.
Yes, Your Highness.
I don't want to defend Gorim because my brother certainly has the right to put him in his place. I'm not going to do what Trian says. I'm not going to try to appeal to Balin for support. So there's really only one option, and it's just fine. I go where I want, when I want, Trian.
Your lack of a sense of duty to your house is obvious. I can't imagine why you are receiving a commission. I expect after tomorrow I'll spend much time apologizing to the heads of the noble houses for the deaths of their children under your incompetent command.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it, Trian?
As heir to the throne, it is my duty to impart wisdom and judgment upon those who need it. Now then, you, get to the feast.
It's cute how you think you can order me around.
I'd advise you to watch that tongue, dear sibling. Father will not live forever. Come, Balin.
Yeah, ignore him. It's my day, not his.
Of course, my lord.
Ooh,
Look at this
armor
piece,
merchant.
darling. It rivals even the work of the Paragon Smith herself.
Nonsense, woman. Your words bring shame upon our house. See how the edges are rough and pitted?
My lord Idukan, nothing here rivals your amazing Idukan armor. If you wish something made...
You know very well House Idukan has its own royal armorers.
Of course. Forgive me.
Show me your wares.
You honor me, your highness.
What do we have anyway? I don't think we have a helmet. +2 physical resistance, medium armor. Woven armored gloves be better than what we have, not by much. Same with the boots. Same with the armor. It is really a minor upgrade, I mean, barely worth mentioning. And it would cost quite significant amount of our monies. So I don't think it's worth it.
And pray the ancestors deliver Branka back safely.
It makes more sense to buy items that are significant increases or unique items, so you don't expect to see others of that kind. It doesn't make sense to drain your money constantly away by buying armor that is basically only a minor improvement, because you're going to be buying quite a lot of them that'll end up probably costing huge amount of gold in the end. Better to save up and go for the really good stuff.
What about that one?
I doubt he's up to the task. I'm not going down that road again.
Oh, I would love to end up with a red head.
Would that Sir Blackstone were a noble, hmm? Stand up straight. They're coming.
What have we here? Two handsome, strapping, noble lords. You both look so grand.
And isn't this the man of the hour, the king's son?
Who's your friend, my lord? Another noble from the honored House Iduken?
This is Sir Gorim of the warrior caste.
Oh, then not a noble?
No, Telly, not a noble. Stone you're thick sometimes.
What do you care if Gorim is noble?
They're noble hunters, my lord. A man takes his caste from his father, and these women hope to bear a noble lord's son. If one is successful, she's raised up to concubine in the noble house to care for her child. It provides new sword arms for the house, and many nobles look favorably on such women.
Yeah, sounds very good. Sounds like a good deal to me.
Shall I come to your chambers after the ceremony, then?
I talked to him first. I want him.
He's looking for a woman, Telly, not a little girl. I'm Marty, and I know how to give my lord a night he'll remember.
You really have to pick just one.
Oh, my lord has his energy about him.
There will be no 3 to a bed, if that's what you're thinking. We both require full experiences all to ourselves. If you think you can manage us both, though.
Both of you it is.
This should prove most interesting. We will wait for you together, my lord, and show you the proper way to celebrate a princely commission.
Excellent. Okay, anything interesting?
You honor us with your presence, Lord.
They're finding the provings in your honor. How exciting.
Oh, exciting indeed. Oh, we'll mostly be selling all this crap.
Invest in the next great trade expedition.
There's an item limit we have, and also I know what the Dwarven noble backstory is, so I know we're going to lose a lot of this stuff anyway. So it's better to just turn it into money.
Greetings, my lord Iduken. I am so honored to have you visit my booth. I have a proposition, but I dared not approach.
Yet you dare now.
You have nothing to offer me, scum. I wonder what kind of a character you'd have to play to really say that. Maybe if you would go with the one that basically is very aware of his position in the caste system and doesn't really want to deal with people in the lower caste. They thinks they're below him. If you have something to say, say it.
Yes, just so. Here's the thing. What I mean to say is...
Spit it out.
Sorry. So nervous. I had a dagger made, for you, as a gift for your first command. Sent a messenger to deliver the dagger to you. Prince Trian had him thrown out. I don't know what offense he caused, but I had him beaten severely.
Let me see this dagger.
Here it is, Your Highness.
That's an amazing piece, merchant.
You do me much honor, sir. The blade has been crafted over a period of 2 years by masters of every art. I wish to bless the Lord's first command, and hope that someday, when he rules, he will wear it.
Trian is heir. He will rule when King Endrin returns to the stone.
If the Assembly wills it. Forgive me, sir, but whispers say the second child of Endrin will be chosen.
Whispers indeed. It's a princely gift. If Trian recognizes it, though, it may send the wrong message. Or the right one, depending on your view.
Damn what Trian thinks. I'll take it.
Thank you. You bring uncountable honor to me.
What he means is that you'll bring uncountable gold to him if you wear that piece in public.
Okay, I think we got a replacement dagger. Yep, it's not exactly amazing, but it's better than what we have, so. And it has a 1+ lightning damage.
Only the freshest food for your noble table.
You bring great glory to your house,
Most
my lord.
exotic wares in Orzammar.
Lord Iduken, here, in my booth? I am so...
He's fainted. You make quite the impression these days. Pardon, I was out of line there. I suppose we should move on.
He appears to be unconscious. No, actually he doesn't.
My lord, are you heading to the proving arena?
Yes, I intend to watch the provings.
We have been charged with the task of escorting you to the proving grounds.
I clean forgot about that. Forgive me, I should have informed you sooner. The king decided you were not to travel through the commons unguarded.
What? Why?
I did mention the merchants that won permits to show their goods in the Diamond Quarter. There were only so many permits auctioned off, and quite a few were turned away. Your father fears you will be harassed on the way to the proving.
Yeah, excellent. I grow wary of these merchants.
Will we be leaving then?
Yes.
We are at your command.
Proving. It's just one story of what happened. The son of a disgraced servant challenged Lord Dace to a proving, declaring his father had been the victim of a cruel injustice and the ancestors would bear him witness. Lord Dace had no choice but to accept. On the sacred stone of the proving ground, the nobleman faced the servant boy. Lord Dace carried a sword crafted for his own hand and was clad in his great-grandfather's armor. The servant boy had neither armor nor weapon. When the battle began, the boy fought like a whole pack of angry deep-stalkers, flinging himself upon the startled lord, wrenching the sword from his hand, and prying at his armor with bare fingers. The boy knocked Lord Dace to the ground and beat him until the lord begged for mercy. The boy and his family were reinstated to their place in the Dace household, and the virtue of the boy's father was not questioned again. The ancestors had spoken, and no one would question their word. So let's see what we can do here.